Nearly a year after the passing of Councilman Quincy Murphy, voters in Flint's 3rd Ward are finally heading to the polls today. They are voting to fill the long-vacant city council seat. Mid-Michigan Now's Andrea Flores joins us live outside City Hall. Andrea, what does this vote mean for the city of Flint?
Stella, this special election is about more than just choosing a new council member. It's about the 3rd Ward finally having representation and breaking the deadlock that has frozen city council decisions for months now. For 310 days, the 3rd Ward has sat empty, leaving residents without a voice on city council. Today, that could finally change. Voters are choosing between A.C. Dumas and Beverly Biggs Levy, after the two candidates tied with 165 votes each during the special May primary. The outcome of this election could tip the balance on council and give the 3rd Ward a voice. I caught up with Flint's 4th Ward City Councilwoman Judy Priestley on what this election means for the council and the city.
We're hoping that the person who is elected will actually help move the city forward.
Polls are open until 8 tonight. As soon as results come in, we'll update you on air and online with the latest. At 10 and 11, you'll hear from a resident about why this election is so important. Reporting live in Flint, Andrea Flores, Mid-Michigan Now.
Thank you, Andrea. The polls close at 8 tonight, as you heard Andrea mention. If you are in line by 8 p.m., you can still vote. You must have a valid state ID. For more information, go to Mid-MichiganNow.com. For a complete list of all the races and results happening across Mid-Michigan, you can head, once again, to MidMichiganNow.com. We are 2 days away from a tariff deadline set by the Trump administration. Countries have until Thursday to finalize trade deals with the United States, or they face higher tariffs. The reciprocal tariffs could range anywhere from 10% to more than 40%. Mid-Michigan Now's Courtney Bennett joins us. Courtney, what will the impact be if deals are not reached by Thursday?
Stella, tariffs are simply an import tax, and as one economist explained to me, someone has to pay for it.
The tariff will be passed on to consumers via higher prices.
We don't know yet what the cost passed on to the consumer could look like because the situation is ever changing. Countries are working on deals with the United States. They only have until Thursday at 12:01 a.m. to hammer out a deal. However, Chris Douglas, a professor of economics at the University of Michigan Flint, says the manufacturing companies are already feeling the pain of tariffs.
Tariffs hurt American manufacturers because it raises their costs.
Those costs are impacting the automotive industry.
Auto prices have increased by about 1% due to tariffs. I think producers are trying to hold off on raising prices to consumers because if you raise prices, consumers respond by buying, say, fewer cars.
The problem right now, Douglas says, is the tariffs are eating into the auto industry profits. Ford reported paying $800 million in tariff-related costs in Q2.
The big three auto companies are seeing billion-dollar losses so far in 2025, but that's not sustainable.
Douglas says those losses will have to eventually go to the consumer. The other concern right now is the stock market.
When President Trump announced his Liberation Day earlier this year, the stock market declined to nearly 36,000 points. It rebounded because he backed off on those tariffs.
He says it could come down to the Thursday deadline, and if deals aren't met, imported goods to the United States will be taxed.
I never want to say people should be worried. I think people should be braced for an impact if these tariffs take effect. An impact in the form of a decline in the stock market, slower job creation, higher prices, just an overall economic slowdown.
According to the Trump administration, the imposed tariffs would raise $2.1 trillion in revenue over the next decade. Again, Thursday's deadline would go into effect on several countries, and the tariffs range from 10% to more than 40%. For now, live in the studio, Courtney Bennett, Mid-Michigan Now.
Thank you, Courtney. If you live in Flint, this update could be important news for you. The Flint Registry is receiving federal funding to continue helping those affected by the water crisis. As Mid-Michigan Now's Kyle Macon reports, the hope is that the funding keeps coming in so the organization can continue lending a helping hand.
We have built something that is unheard of. It is one of the largest exposure-based registries in the country.
It's all smiles from the people at the Flint Registry as they receive nearly $5 million in federal funding. Dr. Mona Hanna with Michigan State University says the money was tough to come by because of federal budget cuts to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention.
We are under the lead department in the CDC, and the lead department actually got eliminated at one point. So we lost all the people that oversee this critically important project.
Once that department at the CDC was started back up, the registry received enough money to run for the rest of the year.
They have connected those to a wide range of resources, including insurance, mental health support, dentistry, social support.
Their mission is to help those affected by the water crisis and to prevent this from happening anywhere else.
Flint Registry was critical in getting the Infrastructure Act passed. To make sure that we invest in that primary prevention work of getting lead pipes out of the ground across the country.
Their work could come to an end if they don't secure funding at the federal level. The registry is encouraging people to speak out so they can help for years to come.
Even just a trauma of being part of a crisis or lead exposure, it takes years, decades, generations to manifest the consequences of that. And so the Flint Registry was built to do that longitudinal surveillance. We would love to be able to do this for at least 20 years.
So far, the Flint Registry has over 22,000 members and has given out 35,000 referrals to services in our area. If you'd like to use their services, all you had to do is be living inside the city of Flint or working here during the water crisis. For more information, there's a link right on our website, Mid-MichiganNow.com. Reporting in Flint, Kyle Macon.
Thank you for the update, Kyle. The man accused of exposing himself to some preteen girls twice is facing charges. Brandon John Richardson of Auburn Hills is charged with 2 counts of indecent exposure, which are both misdemeanors. If convicted, he could spend up to 1 year in jail. He is expected in court again on August 27th. More than 12,000 gallons of milk spill onto a Tuscola County road after a milk tanker overturns. Take a look at what happened. The crash, it happened around 6 in the morning today on M46 near Phillips Road. The milk spilled into a drainage ditch and requires an environmental cleanup. The driver suffered minor injuries. 5 years after dam failures resulting in historic flooding, the Four Lakes Task Force is releasing a timeline for dam construction and lake refill. Completion dates. The one closest to completion is the Sanford Dam, which is estimated to be done by this December. Property owners, another letter will be coming in the mail for what to expect in your winter 2025 tax bill. Meanwhile, affected property owners are being asked by the FLTF to address bottomland vegetation by mowing and removing debris.